Strikeforce, you mentioned that sometimes the media doesn't get it right when it comes to rankings and stuff like that. You're ranked high in a lot of in a lot of votes, but I'm wondering where you feel you stack up on the pound for pound list.
I guess I didn't mean rankings. I guess sometimes when they choose the winner of the fights is what I mean. Sometimes people pick the winners. For a long time, my boy Jake Shields was picked as a loser against like Robbie Lawler, against other guys, and people who make the lines knew that Jake was going to win, and he put the favorite. I guess that's what I meant, not necessarily rankings, but yeah, I feel like I've been around for a while, and I feel pretty good in the rankings. You know, if you look at my history, I've beat a lot of guys. I've traveled overseas, did some things, and at the time I was the number 145 pounder in the world before I went up to 55. So you know, I think I'm up there. I don't know exactly what I am, and you know, it used to be a bigger concern of mine, but not so much nowadays. But yeah, man, I feel like I'm up there. I feel like I can go up to 70s and hang with some of those guys as well, and if need be, I can go back to 45s and be the number one guy there as well.
You're actually ranked 8th on the pound for pound list with Yahoo. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, sure. I think that's fair. I mean, I don't know who's above me. You know, I don't know who's above me, but I'm sure it's debatable. You know what I mean? I can debate my case, but just to be in the top 10 pound for pound for someone like Yahoo, that's you know, I'll take that as a compliment. You know, I guess I can be pessimistic about it and try to break things down and see who's in front of me, but I'll just take it as a compliment and leave it at that. You know.
How do you feel about your most recent performance against Josh? There was some boos in the crowd, and there was a little bit of controversy. How do you feel about it now?
I feel good about it. I don't think it was my best performance. I think Thompson's a tough guy. I think we know each other well, and yeah, I hope you know, San Jose booed because it was a close fight, and you know, it was San Jose's town, and I think it went 0 for 3 that night until Cormier came in. So yeah, you know, people boo when you're at their town. You know. It's a little hard because I usually don't get booed, and you know, I put my life on the line out there to put on a show. So, you know, it kind of hurt, you know, but it is what it is, and you know, I'm just moving forward on that. Josh is a tough dude, and I may have to fight him again if he keeps winning and things go the way they're going. You know, so you know, it is what it is, and I'm just moving forward and trying to become better and trying to enjoy myself.
How would you feel about that, a fourth fight with him?
You know, if he earns it, I'm definitely down with it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'd be up for it. You know, it's something I was not looking forward to, like, right away or whatever. But you know, with people saying stuff like, I'm definitely not scared of it. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You know, I'm definitely not scared of that fight.
And one more question, if I could. Where do you anticipate you'll have the most difficulty in this fight? Pat's got a little bit of height on you, not too much reach, but he's characterized, you know, as a big lightweight. Where do you think you'll have the most? Where do you think he presents the biggest challenge?
You know, I think he's a really good wrestler and a grappler. He has great submissions. He has long arms. He can take a hit. He can give a hit. He's throwing a lot of punches. You know, I think he's an underrated guy overall to the common people. I know I'm in for a battle. I actually think he's a really good mixed martial artist. You know, not a lot of guys have strengths. I think his strength is mixed martial arts when he can put it all together. But yeah, definitely he's a big guy, and you don't want a big guy like that on top of you, you know, grinding away and trying to do submissions and having the hooks in on you or a crucifix on you. You know, I mean, you know, that's where I think he's the strongest, on top and grinding away at his grappling game.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you. And we'll continue on and hear from Spencer Lazara with MMA Interviews.
Hey, Gil. Can you talk about how it is to keep motivated despite not fighting the big names that you've been on record as wanting?
Oh, man, you know, first of all, like, Pat's a tough guy. I got mad respect for him. But, yeah, you know, you try to get the biggest matchup for yourself. And, you know, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But, you know, I mean, you know, the paycheck and my family, that keeps me motivated. You know, I want to stay relevant in the sport. You know, I think this is a very good job that I have, and I want to keep excelling on it and stay on top of the payroll and, you know, and support my family. It's plain and simple. You know what I mean? I just want some security in life, and you know, fighting helps me do that. So, you know, that's what kind of keeps me motivated. Can't be losing and expect to get a pay raise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Can you talk about how training with a guy like Jake helps? Seems like it would help a lot against a guy like Healy. Both guys have, you know, grinded out type of style.
You nailed it right there, bro. I got Jake Shields, and you know, if anyone can replicate Pat, that's Jake. And I lock horns with a lot of guys, and the first thing I do when I lock horns, I say they got nothing on Jake Shields, you know, and you wonder if someone's strong. Is he strong? Is he strong? But, you know, is he going to be stronger? But no one's stronger than Jake Shields, and no one has a body lock like Jake Shields. No one has a top game like Jake Shields, and no one's as big of a grinder as Jake Shields. And, you know, and he's a guy I've been training with a lot. He's an 85-pounder, as well as the Diaz boys. And, you know, I'm lucky to have such great sparring partners. You know, it makes me feel ready.
Yeah, has it been tougher now that he's made that move to 85?
Heck yeah, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's good, you know. But yes, heck yeah, it's definitely tough going with him, and especially when he's on top of me. When he's on top of me, you know, it gets a little heavy and almost like a straitjacket. But you know, I figured my way out of that straitjacket, and I'll do it against anybody.
Yeah. Do you feel like speed is your biggest advantage in this fight?
Speed, yeah, I think that it could be, but I'm not a runner. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna, you know, I don't want to get caught in like. You know, I'm not a stick and mover. You know, I'm not going to be running from Pat Healy the whole fight, and I think that can just become a nightmare being a guy who tries to stick and move. I'm here to fight. You know what I mean? And hopefully my speed does play a good role, but we're going to be locking horns, and you know, speed will be a factor, but not the biggest factor.
Great. And for Pat, you had a tough time in the first round in your last fight. What, if anything, do you attribute that to?
Man, I've had a tough time in the first round of like my last 50 fights. You know, I'm usually not a very quick starter. Something I work really hard on in this training camp, getting off to a good start. I mean, it's all the way I run. It's the way I do everything. I'm a slow starter, so I mean, I don't really attribute to anything, but you know, I've certainly worked on it. You know, especially in mind for this fight.
Do you feel like then having it be 5 rounds is a benefit to you in this fight?
Sure. I mean, Gil pushes a good pace, but you know, I'm pretty big, and you know, if I can get my weight on him early, I think that'll make a big difference in the later rounds.
Great. And for Scott, can you talk about the decision to give Pat the title shot and just the rest of the lightweight division a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Pat has earned his way to get the shot. It wasn't just given to him. And if you look at, I think he's on a 4-5. It might be, that was a 5-5 win streak now. Yeah, there. And, so Pat's on a 5 win streak right now, and so he's earned his way back to the title. And I'd say he's a big lightweight that you know, that is going to be a great matchup for Gilbert.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. And we'll go on to Michael Mardonis with MiddleEasy.com.
Hey, Gil. My question's for you. I was wondering, you were talking about how stacked your camp is. Have you brought anybody in from outside or anybody special?
You know, I haven't brought anyone special in, but you know, we have people come by all the time. You know, we have some great fighters. You know, Josh Neer stepped in. You know, he came by, and I was able to lock horns with him. And then I forget his first name, Garza. Garza stopped by, and I got to get some training. So you know, some UFC fighters, 70-pounder, 45-pounder. You know, good look. I was in Lodi last Wednesday, going heads up with Nate Diaz, sparring just boxing. You know, he was just Andre Ward's sparring partner for the Chad Dawson fight. So he was in great boxing shape, and it's great for me like that. As well as I think Rick Story's in town too, and he's going to be at the gym training a little later, and probably lock horns with him. I have an elite group of people. I got Travis Lee, a great wrestling guy, 4-time All-American, 2-time national champ. He's my wrestling coach, and just a great bunch of youngsters in the scrap pack all around. So I really don't need to go outside. You know what I mean, Lazy? I got a great team already around me, and you know, we keep it close. You know, we're a close family, and you know, we try to keep our secrets within and push each other, and we're lucky.
Sounds like El Nino Training Center is doing just fine. You also mentioned 145. What even made you whisper that?
You know, people ask me if I can make that all the time, and you know, and yeah, I can make it. You know, that's the answer basically. And you know, and the pound for pound thing came up. I was, you know, #1 at 45s at a time, and and I just brought that up as well. But yeah, I'm up for everything. I'm just up for some excitement in my career, and I got some excitement in front of me in this next week, and I'm gonna take it after then. But I'm just never rule anything out.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the time.
And as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that's *1. We'll go on to Ryan Hemminger with MMANation.com.
Yeah, my question's for Gilbert. It came out that Pat Healy did some work with your good friend Josh Thompson in the lead up to this fight. So what are your thoughts that working with the guy that you're so familiar with?
My thoughts are Josh wants me to lose pretty bad is what it sounds like. But yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Josh is a different style than Pat, and I'm sure you got some good tips from him, and that's cool. You know what I mean? That's cool. I don't know. I mean, do what that's neat. You guys have to fight each other one day too. I learned my lesson like that. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's the conflict of interest to be training with people you're gonna fight eventually, and I cut that out a long time ago. But yeah, man, that's cool. You probably learned some tips, and that's nice. But you don't really know till you lock horns with someone. I think I know Pat, but until I lock horns with him, then I'll really know Pat. And it's about to get real close on the 29th, and we're gonna fill each other out and all that. But yeah, man, Josh wants to help him. That's fine. You know what I mean? I don't really care. Hope it helps.
Are you surprised that you are as big of a favorite in this fight as you are?
I don't really pay attention to the favorites too much. People put it past me since, I see it online a little bit, and people are telling me about it. But yeah, man, I appreciate the confidence in the bookies. Sometimes they're better than the people who make the rankings and the journalists out there. They usually pick it right. So, I'll take it as a compliment. But I'm not underestimating Pat at all. I think he's a tough dude. But I think I am favored to win.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And we'll take our next question from Heidi Fang with MMA Fight Corner. My first question is for Gilbert Melendez. You've had 10 championship bouts in Strikeforce, and this will be your 11th. That being said, you said that you didn't think you performed to the best of your abilities in your last few fights. How do you improve from what you've already accomplished in your career?
Just always remaining a student in this sport. Sometimes things get stale, or you hit like a plateau for a minute, and you got to kind of reevaluate everything, and really use your brain and figure out how to evolve as a fighter, or really how to improve as a fighter, and point out your weaknesses. And when you're a champ, sometimes it's hard to do that to yourself. But I've found my motivation, and I'm a student of the sport, and I just want to continue to learn and become a better mixed martial artist. I'm blessed with a really cool job, and I just want to keep it going and keep learning and have a good time with it, and test myself against new blood and new opponents. And finding someone like Pat is a guy I look forward to fighting, because he likes to come forward, he likes to fight, he's old school. I think I'm a little old school, and that motivates me.
Okay, thank you. The next question is for Pat. You actually haven't had a 5-round fight in Strikeforce. How much have you prepared conditioning-wise to go the full 5 rounds with Gilbert?
Well, I took no time off from my last fight. I was right out with BJ Penn, helping him get ready for his fight. So I think I just built on what I already was at, and I've actually fought 5 rounds twice in my career, not in Strikeforce, so I know kind of what to expect. I know Gil pushes a great pace, so I really focused on that aspect of the game and putting it all together. So I think I'll be ready for 5.
Okay. My next question is for Jim Vellante. I was curious, being that you started out with Strikeforce in the heavyweight Grand Prix as an alternate, and you actually fought at that weight. Is 205 going to be your new home now? I mean, since you've dropped there, you've gone 3-1.
Yeah, I think it is. It's definitely more of a natural fit for me. I like the heavyweight division too. It's definitely more fun with the diet. Nobody likes cutting weight, but I was a wrestler my whole life and stuff, so
doesn't bother me too much, but 205 definitely seems like I've been performing better there.
Okay, thank you. And my last question for Guitar and Asante. You've been training with Black Zillions now, and you have the benefit of having Jorge Santiago there with you at the Strikeforce event. How much of a benefit is that to you to have him there with you and have your teammates right there by your side?
Acho um benefício fantástico. Eu já estava com essa luta, porque ele é lutador experiente. I think it'll be great being there with him and see how he does on this fight. And I'm used to that, and I think everything will be great. Great, thank you.
Right.